A 2x2 scramble has to be a 4-move solution, otherwise illegal. It is kind of wacky that this didn't get picked up at the time. Hey, as far as how the investigation was opened all these years later, that's a separate question, and a valid one. You know what you were doing there, sir. That's an interesting question. Mr. James, should there be a statute of limitations for results, eh? We are gonna look at this cool story right here, okay? Shout out to the real Uncle Frank on our cubers. Who I did message about this, by the way. So, real Uncle Frank, it's 9 days ago now. Gosh, I'm slow off the mark with this one. WCA just today DNF'd an almost 7-year-old North American record due to just recently finding a video of it that shows it was a misscramble. Oh, what? So this is Ruben Lopez de Juan. We read something from him last week, didn't we? Oh. OBS, relax. Dear WCA community, the WRC was recently made aware of a video from AR Cubing Fest Querétaro 2018, where we could see a competitor performing a 0.54 2x2 solve. This being the North American record at that time. After some analysis, we have determined that the cube was in fact misscrambled with a 3-move optimal solution. Excuse me, rather than the intended 4-move optimal solution. Now, Clever Clogs in the chat will remember, a 2x2 scramble has to be a 4-move solution. Otherwise, illegal. So this 3-move solution cannot happen. This scramble that the scramble that offered up this 3-move solution cannot be allowed to happen. Oh, it says it here. Look, as you may already know, the optimal solution for any official 2x2 scrambles has a minimum of 4 moves, regulation 4B3B. The WRC held a vote to confirm our decision to DNF the attempt in line with our approach for handling misscrambles at the time. Note that if this were to happen under the current regulations, the solve would be marked as DNS, did not start as per regulation 11I1. The WRC knows this was a long time ago, but the team is still in charge of making sure that all attempts comply with WCA regs, both now and in past years as well. Hence this decision. Kind of wild, hey? A 7-year-old North American record DNF'd for having a 3-move solution. Some valid questions in the comments. Why wasn't this figured out on the day? It's in the regulations that a scramble must be at least 4 moves, so this must have been even easier to figure out. Well, I guess, did the person not say? Like, generally there is people look at video footage. Even in New Zealand here, whenever there's been a record, they always check the scramble in the video footage straight away to make sure that it's legit. And so it is kind of wacky that this didn't get picked up at the time. Hey, we've got a message here from Carter, head of the WRC. WRC? Yeah. We, for the most part, start looking at a case as soon as we are made aware of them. We are always discussing many cases at once. There is no limitation on how old the result is, though we have to be mindful that regulations do change and that the regulations are applied as they would have been at the time. If someone is intentionally sending in falsified video, they would be referred to WIC. Luckily, this is not something we typically deal with. This is interesting from Nathan. Well, it sounds like there was a valid scramble at the competition that had a 4-move solution, and that same solve was the one with the misscramble, so my guess is that some other cubers found the 4-mover before he attempted that solve, and word gets around quickly among runners and scramblers when something like that happens. That is true. So by the time he did his attempt, people were less inclined to question it because they already knew that the scramble he was supposed to have gotten was supposed to have a 4-move solution. Should the staff have done their due diligence and verified the scramble anyway? Absolutely. Agreed. But my guess is some circumstance like what I described above made them believe there was no need to. As far as how the investigation was opened all these years later, that's a separate question, and a valid one. The footage was very hard to find. Many people in the 2x2 community did not know the footage existed. Yeah, I think it's... Oh, yeah, here we go. Look, it's in... It's in, like, a compilation of records. It's in a compilation... We can't see the 2x2 one listed there. So I haven't looked at this video. I don't know where it is, but it's in here somewhere. Can we find it? Let's see if we can find it. That's blind. Hold on, I can find it. That'd be quite good. I don't know if I'm going to find it. This is pretty tedious, isn't it, everyone? Does it start at 3x3 and then go... Oh, Cubo 2x2. Here we go. Here we go. We just saw it. Cubo 2x2. Abraham Torres Ortiz. 0.54 seconds. Oh, that's actually kind of gross. So we can see this. We can see this, I'm pretty sure. YouTube, why are you like this? Why did you give me one frame? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was in the wrong bit. Never mind, YouTube. We're cool. We're cool. 1, 2. Oh, no, I can't even see that. It's definitely not 4, though, is it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's clear. Sir, you know what you were doing there, sir. Sir. James Melby in the chat, there should be a statute of limitations. After enough time has passed, it's too late to DNF a result. Interesting. Interesting. How do I feel about that? How do I feel about that? Might be worth a poll. What's up, John? Welcome along. That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. There, Mr. James. Should there be a statute of limitations for results? Eh? That's not how you spell results. Should there be a statute of limitations for results investigations? Is that what we're looking for? Yes or no? Let's just get that's quite vague. It's quite vague, but I'm interested to see what people think about that. I don't think I love it. I think I would be inclined to vote no. Because that would give people the opportunity to say that the database is janked, the database is corrupt or whatever. You know? It doesn't feel great to me. We got one person out of 5 saying yes so far. A statute of limitations, for anyone who's not clear on what that is. Well, let's see if I know what it is. It's when things... So technically it's in law on crimes, right? So a crime cannot be investigated, or you can't be charged with a crime if a certain amount of time has passed since that crime was committed or was alleged to have been committed. So what we're suggesting here is like, should there be like a 10-year limit? Like if a result stands for 10 years, should it be immune from being investigated is essentially what we're asking. Whoops, wrong one. French Scuba has just said, no, this should be considered cheating. He knew what he was doing. I mean, yeah, listen, I'm not really, I haven't looked too deep into this so far, but if you are world class at 2x2, you should know that a 3-move solve is non-legal. I don't know if he can... could I even spot a 3-mover? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that is a very, very interesting story that came out of this post. But wait, there's more. There's some other great examples of wacky rule stuff going on here from Real Uncle Frank, the OP, the OG. DNFing one result for one person is nothing, even if it was several years ago. In 2023, 5 whole events from an entire competition from 2019 were completely removed, not just DNF'd. All results from all competitors from all 5 of those events, all removed. They were now found to have been using Eusian timers, and regulations only allow speed stacks timers, of course. Of course! Per regulation 8A7... only speed stacks stack mat timers are allowed to be used at official competitions. And they said were allowed to be used. So that's obviously in the past tense because it's an old reg. And we're talking about old regs can only be applied from after they were implemented, is generally speaking what we're talking about in regs. And that's why we bumped into all that stuff with the sliding recently. They didn't want to go back. So 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, and 3x3 OH and Megaminx. A Eusian timer was used during official attempts of several events. The WRC decided to disqualify the round. So it sounds like one Eusian timer was used, and because of that, they got rid of them. And here's an interesting one. The main reason for disallowing Eusian timers is their quality. In particular, they sometimes can run with a different speed and measure times incorrectly, which might not be noticeable, especially during fast events. I mean, this sounds like SpeedStack's propaganda. Doesn't it? But I guess you have to have an official timing system. And it just happens to be that we are locked in with SpeedStacks. I guess. For WCA anyway. Not for... excuse me. Not for PSL. At the end of 2022, a comp in Vietnam from just a couple of months earlier was found to have been using score sheets as cube covers. Come on now. 3 whole events were completely removed, not just DNF'd. Although there is no evidence that anyone actively tried to cheat, the WRC agreed that this is a serious violation of Scramble secrecy. Therefore, all the results from Clock, Pyraminx, and Megaminx had to be removed. Kind of a waste of everyone's time there, guys. Even those 2 pale in comparison to the next one, though, says the real Uncle Frank. During that same above Vietnam comp investigation that started as just an investigation in that one single comp, multiple other comps in Vietnam dating back 9 years from 2022 back to 2013 were found to have been doing the same thing, using score sheets as cube covers. And some of them had Eusian timers too. This was then started as a whole new investigation or incident. 19 comps were affected. 10 of them had multiple whole events removed, not just DNFs. 9 of the comps, the entire comps were removed, not just DNF'd. Over 900 people from 19 comps were affected, with over 18,000 results being completely removed, not just DNF'd. Kind of wild, hey? So if you want to check that out, you can find the original post on Reddit, on RCubers, from the real Uncle Frank, who always posts bangers, honestly. He always posts interesting stuff. The live chat poll, we got 7-3 that there should not be a statute of limitations. Okay, heard. Not a ton of people in favor of a statute of limitations. I feel like it's kind of the WCA database is quite sacred, I think, for the community to an extent. And we want it to be as accurate as possible, so we don't really want, wrong results in there. Generally speaking, we're not really down for that.